It's Friday, the 4th of May, 2018, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. In Jinshin Jitsu, safety energy lock number 4 came into the universe meaning measuring intelligence to each organ function energy exactly what it needs from the limitless source of creation. It also is known as the window. So it's the window through which we can connect to this unlimited source energy that we can have access to every day. And safety energy lock number 4 is over here. In fact, we do have access to it every day because otherwise we wouldn't be alive. So safety energy lock number 4 is located on these bumps at the back of your head. So if you cup the back of your head, then you're holding both safety energy locks number 4, and you can hold them together with the 20s, which is on the forehead. And this connects your vision to cosmic vision, and it helps to open the window to allow this limitless source of energy to move freely into your being. 4 is a visionary. 4 connects us through that window in Jinshin Jitsu, as it were. It connects us to the big picture. It helps us break the confinement of the limitations that we place on ourselves. In other words, it helps us get out of the box. So 4 helps us to connect to our authenticity, our truth, our shadow as much as our light. And it's only when we integrate our shadow that we can truly allow our light to shine, because without the darkness, there can be no light, right? You cannot appreciate light if you don't know darkness. And we all have light and shadow within our beings. But we seem to think that it's okay to show the light, or the parts that we think are good, and to hide the shadow, which are the parts that we think are bad. And in doing that, we deprive ourselves of being our authentic selves. And we deprive the world of the brightness with which our light can truly shine. So 4 helps us to connect to the whole range of who we are, and that's why it is about integrity. It's about authenticity. You know, it takes great courage to be authentic, because your whole life you've been programmed as to what's good or bad. It started with your parents. They said when you behaved a certain way, you were good, and when you behaved a certain way, you were bad. And if you did certain things, you were good, and if you did certain things, they were bad. And they made rules and regulations, which they had to. At least they had to. And then your teachers did the same thing, and your spiritual leaders did the same thing, and your political leaders do the same thing, and the world and our culture, it all says the same. It helps to try and get us all to conform, basically. And then the parts of ourselves that don't conform with what the authority figures wanted of us, we are ashamed of, and so we hide them. And that stops us from being authentically who we are. So there's a lot of talk about authenticity and integrity. It's not easy. It requires great courage. And we have that too, because we are connected to the limitless potential in the universe. That limitless energy source is what we are connected to all the time. And 4, as I said, can help us break the boundaries of our limited thinking. 4 is also practical. It's an earth number. So not only does it help us get out of the box, it helps us practically know what to do with our lives once we've gotten out of the box. And luckily today we have the 5 of May, which is right next to the 4, and the 5 is about adapting. So 4 breaks the boundaries. It shifts the way we think. It shifts the way we look at ourselves. It shifts the way we look at our world. And then 5 helps us to adapt to that. And 5 helps us to think it through and make sense of this change that we want to initiate in our life. Very powerful combination. We've also got the 2 from 2018, and the 2 from 2018 is a water number, so it connects us to our emotions. How does getting out of the box make me feel? Terrified. Right, so do you think you could just sit with that terror? You know, you've had terror in your life before, and you've survived it. So if you actually just allowed yourself to feel it now, probably not going to kill you, right? So can you just feel it? So not think about it, not make a story about it, not judge yourself for it. Just feel it, because when you can feel it, it's like a tide. It comes in and it goes out, or like a wave. It rolls into the shore and it rolls back again. And so it only becomes a problem when we try and inhibit that wave from getting to the shore. So 2 helps us to stay in touch with our emotions and to be true to our feelings, even when those feelings are not love and light. In fact, especially when those feelings are not love and light. Can hear I have a bit of a charge on that, right? Okay, so the hero of today, I just have to think 4, 5, and 9, and 2. Oh, the hero is a 2. So even more, the 2 helps us to see the balance, The 2 helps us to look at the drawbacks and the benefits of staying in the box, and the drawbacks and the benefits of getting out of the box. And then we can make a clear decision which set of benefits and drawbacks we would prefer, because they are both neutral. They are the same but different. So that 2 helps us to really connect to that balanced view. 2 also helps us really connect to our emotions. And 2 in the hero position helps us to connect to what is the truth of what we need in order to nurture ourselves effectively. The villain today is the 6. So when we have a 6 in the villain position, then we have a tendency to extremes. Okay, so what could happen is you could decide to shift the boundaries of the box. You can decide to just actually blow the whole box up, which then is going to affect the dynamic of your relationships at work, your relationships at home, your relationships with your family, your way in which you view the world. You might be incredibly angry at people that you perceive put you in the box, or at yourself, or allowing yourself to being put in the box. And there's a lot of turmoil that can happen if you shift the boundaries dramatically. And so 6 might in the villain position can lead you to extremes. So just know you want to keep on checking in. How does it make me feel? It makes me feel unsafe. Is this something that you can handle right now, or is it too much? No, I think I can handle it. Do you think you can handle pushing it a bit more? No, maybe this is enough for today. Right. So that keeps that extremeness of the 6 into it, basically keeps the 6 in its box, right? 6 in the villain position can also make us blind to beauty. It makes us blind to the beauty of the process. It can make us blind to the beauty within. So if you find that your critical voice is super loud today, then remind yourself that it's probably because you've got the 6 in the villain, and that actually it's probably being a bit extreme. Listen to it, entertain it for a bit, and then tell it that you've had enough, and usher it gently out of your consciousness until it comes back, and then you may have to do the same thing again. It's a bit like having a toad that keeps on homing itself back to your house. You don't want a toad in your house, so you keep on letting it out. You put it in the garden, and then you put it at the pond, and then you put it in the forest. We have toads that do this, and they keep on coming back. So when they come back, you just gently usher it out, and then it's gone for a while, and if it comes back again, well, then you just gently usher it out again. And that's the way to deal with the critical voice in your head, because it is a part of you, and it is a part of you that deserves to be heard, and it's a part of you that deserves to be acknowledged, and it's a part of you that deserves to be integrated and loved. It is not the part of you that deserves to control your entire life. Safety energy lock number 4 is located on the ring finger. Yes, it's located on the ring finger. And the ring finger harmonizes the lung and large intestine organ function energy, and it helps to harmonize sadness and grief. So whenever we shift the boundaries and things are no longer as they were, we will automatically have to let them go. We have to let the old go in order to let the new in. And letting the old go always requires a bit of a grieving process. So depending on how dramatic the letting go has been. And so holding the ring finger helps us to connect to the vision, it helps us to shift the boundaries, and it helps us to manage the grief and the sadness associated with having to let the old go so that we can make room for the new. Hope you have an amazing Friday, and I'll speak to you again on Monday.